Good morning. I am here on this drizzly day to talk a little bit more about goals. Okay, we're all talking to you about goals, right? Everyone's telling you about goals. There's books how to make goals. It's New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals. But the question is, how do you make a goal that is actually going to stick? How do you make a goal that works? Because most of us make New Year's resolutions and we don't reach it. And a lot of us know we're not going to reach it while we're making it. My wife, a couple years in a row now, has made the New Year's resolution. She's going to stop cursing. Here's the problem. She does not particularly want to stop cursing. I bug her about it because I, of course, don't curse, except at certain moments during Philadelphia Eagles games. But nonetheless, she's made that resolution a couple times, hasn't dealt with it. Well, when do our goals work? Because you've had goals that have worked. You've made a goal and you've reached it. You've had something you wanted to do and you've pulled it off. You've wanted to lose weight at one point and you did it. So let's look at our lives. When do our goals work? Now, when I was a musician in high school, I was very, very, very intense musician. I cared very, very much about music. I ended up going to Berklee School of Music for a couple of years. And of course, you have to learn scales. You have to learn all kinds of scales. And I would work on my scales. But when did I kill myself on the scales? One of two times. Number one, if I was going to have to play the scale in front of the rest of the class. There would be about once a month or something where he would call on people to play scales in front of everybody. Well, that made you do it, right? And the second time was when I had an audition and I had to know my scales. I would be able to play my scales when I had to. So what happens when you're young and when you're in school is that you have these coaches who give you these kind of tests in order to get you to do what you need to do for the bigger goal. Problem with growing up is we don't have those guys. No one cares. It's one of the first keys you have to understand if you're going to succeed and lead. Nobody cares but you. You have to make your own tests to make something real. Now, we've all had times when we made goals, and that was when we had to make the goal. I once had a moment when my daughter contacted me a few weeks before she was supposed to go to college in the UK, and she told me that she didn't have a visa. And somehow this became my problem. And I mean, I obsessed. There seemed no way to do it. I contacted New York about where you could go to get it done. It was too late. I even thought about flying to Chicago to get it done. I signed up for that. Then I realized Chicago won't do it because I don't live there. But now but every day I woke up with this goal in mind. I didn't look at it as a goal. I looked at it as, oh my God, my daughter's not going to be able to go to college. How am I going to do this? Ultimately, I ran into a person. He was the British consular, or he worked at the British consulars. Now those people are supposed to help British people, but we talked. My wife and we talked to the secretary of the British consular, and she gave me his phone number, which I don't think would happen with Americans too much. And the craziest thing happened is I called, and he was at this party with Bill Clinton and Tony Blair, and he actually answered the phone, and he kind of as a joke gave the phone to Tony Blair, and I told Tony Blair, and anyway, I was able to get an appointment for this visa. The reason I see that I did it was I was obsessed with that goal. And when you are obsessed with a goal, somehow or another, you are going to make it happen if you just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. Now, our goals are sometimes very large. Sometimes our goals, our ultimate goals, are years away. So how do we make ourselves perform? How do we make ourselves reach our small goals? How do we make ourselves lose 7 pounds when we want to lose 50 pounds? And that becomes a matter of imagination, and that becomes a matter of seeing what it is we want. And making that as real, we'll go along with the diet idea. Making it as real as that cookie in front of you. Problem with that, the cookie versus the large goal is the large goal is ephemeral, right? It's something kind of, it'd be nice. And the cookie is right there. So we're going to talk about ways that you can actually make your goal concrete. Some people, you know, if you want a Lamborghini, I don't know anything about cars. I like cars that start when you put the key in them and that have a good sound system. I love music. But maybe you want a Lamborghini. Well, you need to take a picture of that Lamborghini and you need to put that picture on your wall and you need to look at that in the morning. And everything you do, it should be something that's helping you to get there. That thing has to be real, though. It can't be some kind of, yeah, wouldn't it be nice? It's got to be real. That's the key. If you can believe, if you can make this leap of faith that you are going to have that Lamborghini, and you take that picture out of the magazine, or you print that picture off of the internet, and you put that picture on your wall. And when it comes to doing things that are going to increase your personal wealth, when it comes to doing things that are going to make you go further in your company, when it comes to things that are going to help you to improve as an entrepreneur, you look at that Lamborghini and you think about it when you go to sleep at night and you think about it when you wake up at night. And then doing the smaller goals to get there isn't hard because that Lamborghini is real. We're all just what's in here. That's the key to goals that are achievable. That's the key to achieving goals. All right? It's very simple. It's making them real. And you know that. In your heart, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Wasn't there a time when maybe you had to get into an outfit for a wedding? Maybe you were a bridesmaid and you were able to dye it because you had to get into that dress, right? Brooke Shields just my wife told me this yesterday. I haven't seen it, but evidently she went back to the Blue Lagoon Island and she dressed in that bikini and she looks fantastic. Well, I'm guessing 3 months ago she knew about that photo date. And she didn't want to look, she's my age, she's 54 years old. She didn't want to look old, decrepit, middle-aged, whatever horrible phrase you want to use. She wanted to look good. And she knew she was going to be embarrassed. Boy, embarrassment is a great motivator, is it not? She didn't want to be embarrassed. But more importantly, because we do more when we're trying to achieve something than run away from something, because she could always have canceled the photo date, right? She wanted to achieve that. She wanted to be able to show people that life isn't over when you're 54, thank God. And that's what you got to do, you know? If you're going to succeed, you're going to become your own coach. You're going to surround yourself with people one way or another who help you and push you, but at the end of the day, you're going to be your own coach.